September 2022, America's Got Talent. The lights dim, and suddenly, Elvis Presley walks onto the stage. Not a hologram, not an impersonator, Elvis. Moving, singing, performing with a fluidity and realism that makes your brain short-circuit. There's just one problem. Elvis died in 1977. What millions of viewers witnessed that night wasn't just entertainment. It was the opening shot in Hollywood's biggest power grab since the 1970s. And the agency behind it? They have a history with the king that goes back decades. The company behind AI Elvis is called Metaphysic, and what they pulled off on that AGT stage was unlike anything we'd seen before. Previous attempts at resurrecting dead performers, remember the Tupac hologram at Coachella? Always had that uncanny valley problem. You knew you were watching something fake. But this was different. The AI Elvis didn't just look real. He moved with weight, with personality, with those signature Presley mannerisms that made him the king in the first place. The judges were stunned. The audience went wild. And in the wings, Hollywood's power brokers were taking notes. One agency in particular saw something bigger than a talent show gimmick. They saw the future. Within months, Creative Artists Agency, CAA, one of the most powerful talent agencies in the world, announced a partnership with Metaphysic to develop AI tools for their entire roster of clients. But here's where the story gets really interesting, because CAA's connection to Elvis goes way deeper than you might think. Let's rewind to 1975. Elvis is still alive, still performing those Vegas shows, still represented by the William Morris Agency, the most prestigious talent agency in Hollywood history. William Morris had represented everyone from Charlie Chaplin to the Beatles. They were the establishment, untouchable, until 5 of their agents walked out the door. Michael Ovitz, Ron Meyer, Bill Haber, Mike Rosenfeld, Roland Perkins. These 5 men didn't just quit, they declared war. They formed Creative Artists Agency, and over the next 2 decades, they systematically dismantled William Morris's dominance. CAA's secret weapon? They invented the package deal. Instead of just representing actors, they'd bundle writers, directors, and stars together, controlling entire projects from the ground up. By the 1990s, Ovitz wasn't just an agent, he was being called the most powerful man in Hollywood. CAA had won the war. But there's a beautiful irony here. The agency that rose to power by abandoning William Morris, the agency that represented Elvis, Frank Sinatra, and the biggest names of that era, would eventually use Elvis himself to launch their next revolution. Only this time, Elvis didn't have a say in the matter. After that AGT performance, CAA moved fast. In early 2023, they announced the Metaphysic partnership, positioning themselves at the forefront of what they're calling hyper-real AI for entertainment. And the implications are staggering. For living talent, it means actors can be in multiple productions simultaneously, de-aged or aged up at will, performing in languages they don't speak. CAA's already deployed this technology on a major Robert Zemeckis film called Here, starring Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. The entire movie uses AI face replacement and de-aging woven into the storytelling. But the real money? That's in the dead celebrities. Think about it. Elvis generated over $110 million in 2022 alone, 45 years after his death. Now imagine Elvis performing new concerts, appearing in films, doing brand partnerships, all through AI. No scheduling conflicts, no aging, no saying no to deals, just pure, eternal revenue generation. And CAA wants to be the gatekeepers. They're not just representing talent anymore, they're building the infrastructure to control digital likenesses, to broker deals between estates and production companies, to essentially own the afterlife of celebrity. This is a multi-billion-dollar bet on a simple premise. The future of entertainment isn't just about managing living people, it's about managing their digital ghosts forever. Other agencies are scrambling to catch up. William Morris Endeavor, United Talent Agency, they're all racing to build similar capabilities. But CAA got there first, and they got there because they saw what everyone else saw on that AGT stage and understood what it really meant. So here's where we end up. The agency founded by 5 defectors who walked away from Elvis's representation in 1975 is now using his AI resurrection to lead Hollywood into its next era. It's almost poetic, but it raises some uncomfortable questions. Who really profits when Elvis performs from beyond the grave? His estate, sure. CAA, absolutely. Metaphysic, definitely. But what about the artists themselves? What about consent? What about the line between honoring someone's legacy and just strip mining their image for profit? CAA is betting that nobody's going to ask those questions too loudly. Not when there's this much money on the table. Elvis Presley changed music forever when he was alive. Now, 45 years after his death, he's changing Hollywood again. He's become the proof of concept for an industry that's figured out how to make sure its biggest stars never truly die and never stop generating revenue. Elvis has left the building, but his digital ghost, that might never leave the stage.